The most successful organizations think about performance and human potential. Companies across industries are discovering that the old model of treating employees like efficient machines no longer works in today's complex work environment. Top companies are integrating emotional intelligence into leadership development, recognizing that sustainable high performance requires understanding the emotional dimensions of work. The Global Wellness Institute reports that organizations are now embedding well-being into their governance structures, their leadership development programs, and their daily operating practices. This isn't just feel-good corporate messaging. It's a preventative, science-backed approach that companies are adopting because the data shows it drives measurable improvements in employee engagement and performance. The numbers behind this shift are compelling enough that even the most profit-focused organizations can't ignore them. Companies that prioritize comprehensive employee well-being, which includes addressing the emotional dimensions of work, report productivity increases of up to 20%, along with significant reductions in absenteeism. When employees feel supported in managing their emotional responses to work challenges, they demonstrate greater engagement and innovation, which translates directly into improved quality outcomes across all types of projects and deliverables. What's particularly fascinating is how artificial intelligence itself is being designed to work with human emotional patterns rather than replace them. Instead of creating AI systems that ignore human feelings and emotional needs, developers are building technology that recognizes emotional signals and adapts accordingly. AI-powered productivity tools are starting to learn individual emotional patterns and suggest optimal timing for different types of work based on energy levels and stress indicators. Some systems can detect when someone is experiencing decision fatigue and recommend breaks or task switching. Others monitor communication patterns to identify when teams are experiencing emotional strain that might affect collaboration and suggest interventions before problems escalate. The AI integration goes deeper than most people realize. Research by the Upwork Research Institute and Accenture demonstrates that companies balancing technological advancement with well-being-focused leadership significantly outperform organizations that pursue technology implementation alone. This suggests that emotional intelligence may be the critical factor that determines whether companies can fully realize the benefits of their AI investments. The technology amplifies human capabilities when it's designed to work with emotional realities, but it creates additional stress and reduces performance when it ignores the human elements of work. Being ahead of this curve creates competitive advantages that compound over time. While most professionals are still trying to suppress their emotions to appear more productive, those who master emotional productivity are developing capabilities that will become increasingly valuable as work environments become more complex and unpredictable. They're learning to read subtle emotional signals that indicate when teams need different types of support. They're developing the ability to maintain high performance during uncertainty and change, because they can use their emotional responses as information rather than letting those responses derail their focus. The shift toward more complex and creative work makes emotional skills even more crucial. As AI handles routine analytical tasks, human workers are increasingly responsible for creative problem-solving, strategic thinking, and relationship management. These higher-level cognitive functions are deeply influenced by emotional states. Someone who can recognize when their anxiety is pointing toward genuine risks versus when it's just reflecting general uncertainty will make better strategic decisions. Someone who can distinguish between productive creative tension and unproductive stress will generate more innovative solutions to complex problems. The vision of what becomes possible when entire teams and organizations adopt these principles is remarkable. Imagine workplaces where people can acknowledge when they're feeling overwhelmed without being seen as weak or uncommitted. Picture teams that can recognize when conflict stems from emotional triggers rather than genuine disagreements about strategy, allowing them to address root causes instead of arguing about symptoms. Think about organizations where leaders can identify when their teams need different types of support based on collective emotional patterns, preventing burnout before it affects performance. In these emotionally intelligent organizations, meetings become more productive because people can recognize when discussions are being driven by fear or defensiveness, rather than strategic thinking. Project timelines become more realistic because teams can acknowledge the emotional energy required for different types of work, not just the logical steps involved. Innovation increases because people feel safe to propose ideas that might not work, knowing that emotional reactions to failure can be processed constructively rather than creating shame spirals that prevent future risk-taking. The Global Wellness Institute identifies well-being intelligence as a core leadership competency that's becoming essential for navigating the human dimensions of technological transformation. Leaders who excel in this area can leverage AI systems effectively while creating environments where human potential thrives. They understand how to foster psychological safety in digital workplaces, maintain human connections amid increasing automation, and support holistic employee development that includes emotional skills alongside technical capabilities. These forward-thinking leaders measure success through both performance indicators and well-being metrics, recognizing that sustainable high performance requires attending to the emotional health of their teams. They're developing systems that use AI to analyze complex data and provide real-time insights into employee well-being, allowing for proactive interventions that prevent productivity problems before they develop into larger organizational issues. The connection between individual emotional productivity skills and broader career success becomes clear when you consider how these capabilities translate across different professional contexts. Someone who can use guilt as information about misaligned priorities will make better career choices throughout their lifetime. Someone who can transform fear into strategic preparation will take appropriate risks that accelerate their professional growth. Someone who can interrupt shame spirals before they affect performance will maintain confidence and momentum through inevitable setbacks and challenges. These skills become more valuable as careers become less predictable and more dependent on adaptability. The ability to read your own emotional signals and adjust your approach accordingly helps you navigate career transitions, manage increased responsibility, and maintain performance during periods of uncertainty. Companies recognize this value and are increasingly promoting people who demonstrate emotional intelligence alongside technical competence. Mastering emotional productivity isn't just about optimizing your personal task management or improving your individual performance metrics. It's about developing the fundamental skills that will determine who thrives in the future of work. As the distinction between human and artificial intelligence becomes more pronounced, the ability to work skillfully with emotions becomes the uniquely human contribution that no technology can replicate. But perhaps the most important insight isn't about the future of work or organizational transformation at all. It's about becoming more skillfully yourself. All those feelings you've been fighting against contain information that can make you more effective, not less. The real insight here isn't that you need to eliminate your emotions to become more productive. It's that productivity isn't about becoming someone different at all. This week, pause today and identify one feeling that shows up around your work. Maybe it's the guilt you feel on Sunday nights, or the fear that appears when you think about that important project. Don't try to fix it or push through it. Just ask what it might be telling you. Your emotions aren't obstacles to overcome. They're allies waiting to be understood.